Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you guys all so much for being here, for your continued love and support here on the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Also, thank you to those of you that have been donating to the channel. I truly appreciate you guys all so much. Those of you that have sent in tarot and oracle decks and have also donated through I seen Cash App and also PayPal. And then I think there is a few of you that have also donated directly through YouTube. So thank you guys all so much. And also those of you that leave such beautiful comments letting me know how these readings are helping you. I truly appreciate all the support from you guys. So today's pick a card reading, we're doing where is fear holding you back? Okay, where is fear holding you back? And we have 3 crystals out for you guys to choose from. For group 1, you are going to be this yellow Aventurine. For group 2, we have Opalite. And then for group number 3, we have this Jade. I am going to be adding in one of these cards from the Spirit Animal Oracle to help you with choosing. But if you already feel drawn to a specific crystal, you're more than welcome to skip ahead to the timestamp that'll take you directly to the reading. If you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. So where is fear holding you back? Let's choose something for group number 1. Where is fear holding back group number 1? Where is fear holding group 2 back? Where is fear holding group 2? Okay, now group 3. Where is fear holding group number 3 back? Okay, so let's see what we've got. Group 1, we have Stag Spirit with Take the Lead, card number 58, with the yellow Aventurine. Group 2, where is fear holding you back? We've got Koala Spirit with Spirit Has a Plan, number 35, and that is with the Opalite. Group 3, where is fear holding you back? We've got the Butterfly Spirit with Transformation is Beautiful, number 11, with the Jade. All right, so those are the choices for today. Once again, where is fear holding you back? Like I said, if you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that's perfectly okay for today's reading. Timestamps will be down below for you all, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, Group 1. So those of you that resonated with Stag Spirit, Take the Lead with the yellow Aventurine. This is going to be a reading today. So where is fear holding you back? Spirit is saying with taking the lead. Okay. Now, this could be, of course, taking the lead in any area of your life. Maybe it's with something surrounding career, you know, it could really be, like I said, any area of your life. Let's just see what's coming through here. But it is taking the lead. Where is fear holding you back? Group number 1. 10 of Swords. 2 of Cups. Oh, 5 of Cups. Four of Swords. Okay. Now, of course, because this is a general reading, you're all going to be in very different situations. So take the message that comes through here today and apply it to how you feel it applies to you best. But I will say that this feels like it has to do with, for some of you, it's a relationship. A relationship here. This feels like we're moving away or on from something that has been a source of pain. The 10 of Swords. Some of you could have gone through like a bad breakup in the past. A bad breakup, divorce, a loss of a relationship, or even if, I mean, this could, because we have grief here with the 5 of Cups. I feel like this has more to do with overcoming this feeling of pain or sadness or grief. Because the Chariot here is helping to free you, to move forward. It's done so with willpower and determination. For some of you that are in situations right now where, you know, you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, you're at a job, or you have a friendship or some kind of relationship, something, for some of you, this is something that you put in and invested a lot of your time and your energy to. And there could be some kind of loss that you've experienced here, some type of grief or pain or some heavy feelings and emotions that it feels like this has been weighing on you energetically, and it may be even affecting some of you mentally, draining. Yeah, we've got Page of Pentacles energy here, which is starting new, beginning something new. King of Pentacles in reverse. Death is at the bottom. This is some type of ending, some type of change, letting something go that doesn't serve you. So I will say, for those of you that are at a job, in a marriage, in a relationship, something that is not giving to you stability, security, it's causing a source of pain, a source of disappointment, a source of discouragement, a source of inconsistency, unbalance, and it's something that's not making you feel good. Let's just say right now, if you're currently dealing with this, because I feel like keeping yourself in a situation that you're not happy in, or even holding on to energy from the past, we have to make a conscious choice and decision to have the power within ourselves to free ourselves from that situation, right? Especially if it's something that you've got ongoing right now, and you know that it's just not good for you, like the job isn't good for you, or the environment that you work in is not healthy, or the relationship is something that's no longer, providing what you need, or if it's a past situation, this would more so be about you freeing yourself from that place of suffering, right? We cannot change the past, especially for those of you where this has to do with a person who has hurt you in the past. We can't change that, we can't change that, but we can choose whether or not we're going to allow it to affect us any longer, right? Suffering is a choice, because we're not letting go. And I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, because I've definitely been here way too many times in my life to count with past partners. It does require a lot of work, a lot of inner work, right? A lot of processing your feelings, your thoughts. And for those of you that are dealing with the situation right now, this is about having the courage to end something that does not serve you. Okay, I am noticing the King of Pentacles is in reverse, which is maybe this is a person that you're dealing with who's not dependable, and they continue to do things or say things that are just kind of, making you feel hurt. So do we keep ourselves in that cycle, where we allow that situation to kind of happen time and time and time and time again, or we decide enough's enough? Enough is enough. So that would be you taking the lead to end something with that death card. Getting out of that dead-end job, getting out of that friendship, moving away from that living situation that we're in, if we want to experience more harmony in our life, more balance, more security. The Page of Pentacles is about planting the seed for something new, right? So are we going to continue to sit in a space of disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, or holding on to, things that we cannot change, right? Because the Five of Cups is grief over something that we've already experienced, something from the past. No matter what kind of emotion it is, the Five of Cups can be about, sadness, dealing with depression, dealing with regret, remorse, guilt, shame. Depression is also, if you are experiencing, it's not a life sentence. Okay? It's not. We can change. We can evolve. We can grow. We can heal. And if the job is something that is not making you happy, you don't feel like it's giving you the financial security that you need, right? Are we going to stay in a space where we're feeling, sad about it? Or are we going to do something to take the lead to change it, right? To make a different choice, to take action here, to find a new job, okay? Or another way, let's just say if we're, there's some financial challenges here or ups and downs, because this, although, it's rarely uncomfortable for us to go through that, but all the thinking, all the overthinking, the analyzing, the worrying, the stressing, and all of the discouragement and disappointment that we're feeling, it's not going to fix the problem. It's not going to change it, right? So we have a choice. We can either sit in that energy and, which I feel like is still important. We allow ourselves to honor the feelings and the emotions that are coming up. I'm not saying that you have to ignore your feelings or that you have to suppress them. We don't want to just keep sitting in it, though. right? We don't want to become the emotion. We want to observe what it is that we're feeling, allow those emotions to kind of move through us. Okay? And continue on. Have the willpower to overcome it, because the Five of Cups energy is basically telling us, if you look at this guy here, there's 3 cups that are spilled over, and that's what this person is grieving in that card. But behind him is 2 cups that are still there. So the message with this card tells us, you know, the grief over this loss that we're experiencing right now, or this disappointment or this emotion that we're feeling, it's temporary, right? Here in the background of this card, there's water that's still flowing, right? There's a bridge there, and there's a little building over here. So it's kind of like this person can cross this bridge here to the other side and move into a place of feeling more stable, right? Emotionally. There's a bridge there for this person to cross. So in a way, I feel like this water too, the water flowing through there, shows us that life is still going on, right? Life is still happening. Are we going to continue to stand there and focus on something that we've lost, or something that we're disappointed by, or something that we're feeling sad about? Or are we going to take action to make the changes that we need to in our life and shift the focus towards moving forward, right? Because this can certainly create stagnancy for us in our life, right? And for those of you, let's just say that you're in a marriage or in a relationship that is no longer serving you. Are we going to keep ourselves in it and, you know, continue to not feel happy, where it's just bringing us down? Or are we going to take the lead with changing it, right? And if that means, for some of you, that we need to move away from that person, you know, of course, it is going to be something that requires a lot of our inner strength and courage to do so. But it's also a decision that you can make for your highest good, right? The Death card is about ending things that do not serve us. It's also about us transforming, changing, knowing that a change is needed, right? This could be a release for some of you if we're still grieving over the loss of a past relationship. And it's making the decision to move forward, right? Which again requires willpower, it requires determination, it requires focus. It takes everything within us to keep going. Okay? So maybe there's fear surrounding starting new, or there's fear with ending something. The Four of Swords energy here is about healing, but it's also about reflection, meditating on something. It's about calming the mind. Maybe that we can think clearly, right? Because emotions can certainly cloud our judgment. If we're feeling very emotional about something, we're not being very logical. Okay? We're not in a clear headspace to focus on what we need to focus on. And I feel like what Spirit's saying here is there is a change that is needed. Something needs to come to an end here. It's either us sitting in this energy over something from the past and we're still carrying it with us, right? Or those of you that have an ongoing situation right now that perhaps maybe is no longer in alignment with you, and there's a need for you to take the lead towards making that change in your life. Okay? The Two of Pentacles also could be us going back and forth over should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, and feeling indecisive. Okay, so I want to look at this here. Now we do have, what we've got, Scorpio energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Taurus, and then also Gemini, Libra, and Aquarian energy. Why is the Death card here? I would also, since you chose the Stag spirit here, I would look up the spiritual meaning of the white stag. We have the Empress here, Seven of Cups, and the Magician. Okay, now for some of you, there's going to be different messages for different people here because this is a general reading, but the Seven of Cups can be a card of feeling very emotionally overwhelmed. When we're like that, we can often get confused, okay? Which can make it hard for us to kind of focus. Maybe there's something that we worked on and it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. And so we're in that Five of Cups energy feeling really discouraged, really disappointed. The Seven of Cups can be when we have many different options, many different things to choose from. Maybe it's an idea, right, that we have, a dream, a vision, and we're just like, which one should I choose, right? That can also be about making choices here, the Two of Pentacles. We could be going back and forth. Should I pursue this career? Should I pursue that one? Should I go to this employer, that employer? Should I move to this place? Should I move to that place? So the Empress energy is about you feeling worthy, okay, first off, worthy of what you desire, and knowing that you have the power within yourself to create your reality. The Magician is also here, which is a very powerful energy of manifestation. Both of them are about manifestation. The Empress can also be about love, right? So if you're wanting to manifest a new love interest into your life, right, where we have had difficulty with the past partner and we want a new person that treats us better or that is more loving, more nurturing, you have the power to make that happen. And that is letting go of a person or a situation that does not serve, right? The Seven of Cups can also be about illusion. Okay, it might appear to us that that person is our dreamboat or our dream come true, and we might need to let go of that illusion, especially if the person disappoints us over and over and over again. That can be us removing ourselves from that illusion, from that false reality. The Seven of Cups is Pisces energy, so this could certainly be about disillusionment. Right? Seeing the person for who they really are, and recognizing that maybe for some of you could be dealing with the person who is very ungrounded, very undependable, someone who does not provide security or stability for you. And maybe this is us no longer lying to ourselves and saying that they are, or that they have the capability of doing so. Maybe for some of you, it's a job, where you're like, okay, this job is not really giving me what I need. And we're going to let go of that illusion that it actually is and saying, you know what? No, it's time for me to get out of here. It's time for me to move on from this place. So taking the lead to making the changes, this could also be you focusing on what your dream and your vision is. And if there's something in your life that you're dealing with right now that does not align with what that vision is, this is where we need to let it go, right? The Magician is about focused intention, willpower, and also manifestation. You create your reality, okay? You create the reality that you experience. Your reality is based off of what your perception is. Your perception is based off of your thoughts that lead to the choices that you make, that lead to the behaviors that you have and the feelings and emotions that you have about that situation. And if we want things to change, if we want things to be different, then we have to start changing the thoughts, which will help us make different choices and pick up new behaviors, new feelings and emotions that are more positive, right? To help us to reinforce this new dream, this new vision, so that we don't keep doing what we've always done and expecting the results to be different. Okay, so taking the lead, you've got the wand right there. We have the wand in the Magician's hand. The Empress also has her scepter. So this is about you being in your power. It's about you recognizing that you have the power within yourself to create your dream reality. If it's the dream job, if it's the dream relationship, it is about you taking a stand and deciding, I'm doing this. And I'm going to let go of anything that does not align with that vision that I have. And sometimes doing that is really hard. It's really hard sometimes, you know, because we could be grieving the fact that maybe the situation that we were in, the job that we were at, the relationship that we were a part of was that. And maybe it was for a time. Maybe it was. Okay? But if we want change here, we have to become the change that we wish to see. We can create a new beginning. We can create the reality that we wish to experience. And we certainly can manifest wealth and love and abundance and know that we are worthy of that. We just have to be willing to let go of what does not serve us. And it starts with you, right? Taking the lead, paving a new path. It reminds me very much of King of Wands energy. Forging a new path. Stepping into your power, taking control of your life. Okay. All right. So that is all that I have for you, group 1. I do hope that this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So, my voice is a little weird right now. I tried to clear it, but it might be like a little up and down. It's been like that all day today. So you chose the Opalite with Koala Spirit, with Spirit Has a Plan. And we are asking, where is fear holding you back? And I feel with this message, Spirit has a plan. I feel like you might have a fear of the unknown, a fear of trusting, a fear of maybe even, I feel like that comes with trying to control, the need to control something. Which basically is us not trusting, right? Trusting the divine, and trusting in your higher self to lead you, to guide you. That sometimes the path before us is unknown, where there's uncertainty. We don't know exactly how something is going to work out, or if it's meant for us, or what it's going to lead to. And I feel like this is trusting that if, let's just say there's something we're working on, you know, and we have a goal in mind, we have to also trust, I feel like, that spirit, right? The forces greater than us, or your own spirit team that's leading you, God, universe, however you'd like to look at that, that there is a divine plan in place for the course of our life. And we have to trust that the things that we do and are a part of, some of which are, you know, experiences for us, lessons that we're going through as our soul is learning on its journey. But we can't control everything. We can't know everything. There are certain things that we can do and certain things that we will experience within our lifetime that are beyond our control. So let's just see what is coming through with this. Spirit has a plan. I feel like a lot of it could do with trust. Okay, so where is fear holding you back? Group 2. The Magician. So we've got Mercury energy, Gemini and Virgo. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Eight of Swords in reverse. So yes, this is a lot of negative thinking. A lot of self-limiting beliefs. A lot of what if this, what if that happens. Negative. Worrying, stressing. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Wands. The Hierophant. We also have Taurus. Oh, actually, all the signs are basically here almost, right? Except, well, we got Gemini here, but Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Three of Wands, and then the Six of Wands in reverse. I almost feel like there's this feeling of anticipating failure, worst case scenario. Because the Six of Wands, when it is upright, we're talking about success, you know, recognition, validation, being in the spotlight, an accomplishment, achieving something, right? Achieving a milestone. But with that Six of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Wands is talking about foresight, thinking ahead, planning ahead, right? And oftentimes we are in our head worried about something. How is this going to turn out? How is this going to happen? What is going to happen here? What's going to happen there? Again, this is us trying to, or this attachment to an outcome. You know, the Three of Wands can also talk about expectations or anticipating something, waiting for something. And we might be perceiving it as something that we're not going to have, or that we're going to fail, or that's not going to happen for us, or whatever it might be. With that Seven of Pentacles energy in reverse, this can be perhaps feeling very impatient. We might also stop nurturing something, because the Seven of Pentacles is about us investing time and energy into something, right? And it kind of looks like with this, the Eight of Pentacles here, 7, 8 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, this could have to do with work, you know, finances. You know, the Seven of Pentacles is a card about success being unfulfilled. We might feel unhappy because we've worked hard and put in a lot of time and effort and energy and are not seeing the results that we want. And the Seven of Pentacles card is telling us, a reminder that if we can keep with the consistency and keep working, that we will soon see the fruits of our labor. The hard work will pay off, but we can often get very frustrated. We feel like things are not happening fast enough. So if we feel like we're not seeing results, we give up, right? We stop working. We stop focusing on what we need to focus on. Or, you know, the Seven of Pentacles can also be about taking a pause, reevaluating, reassessing, okay? What else can I do, right? Because the Three of Wands is also about setting things in motion, taking that first step and kind of observing, right? What action we've taken and what it's going to lead to. But this can also be us taking steps towards, okay, well, what is the next step that I need to take right now? You know? So we have the Magician here, which is about focused intention, willpower, manifestation. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow and steady energy. It's about focusing on long term, right? Where do we want to be? What are we trying to achieve here? I do feel like there is a need here for tapping into the intuition, because we do have the Queen of Cups present and she looks like she's just like staring into her cup there. But I feel like with the Queen of Cups, this is also a card about emotional stability. Okay, being emotionally stable, grounded. So I feel like there's a need for taking some time, okay, for looking at what it is that you are trying to accomplish. And this could include you changing the way that you think, okay? Being more mindful. The Knight of Pentacles energy does require a lot of discipline, a lot of commitment and dedication, and taking steps moving forward. So it's kind of like a need for, I feel like, trusting here, okay? Doing what we need to do, but also, I want to say, releasing attachment to outcomes, to timelines. It certainly doesn't mean just give up and stop doing anything, but I feel it's like you know that the actions that you're taking, and you've done what you could do, right? And now we let it go, right? And the example I've heard, I don't remember where I've heard it from, but somebody had like the perfect example of it one time. I don't know if it was another reader or somewhere else that I heard it from, but they use the analogy of when you're manifesting, okay, you're manifesting something that you're trying to bring into your reality, into your experience, that they use the analogy of when you put an order in to, you order something online. And in a way, this is where we're that part of that manifestation, right? Where we're focusing our intention on something that we're trying to manifest. As soon as you hit buy, right, on your screen, and you check out of your cart and you buy something and you're waiting for it to arrive, you don't stand out at the mailbox as soon as you click buy. And you don't stare out the window as soon as you click buy, and wait and wait and wait like that, right? You click buy and you go about the rest of your day. You know that it's going to arrive because you've set out you've paid for it and it should be arriving, but you're not, being obsessive about it. As soon as you click buy, you're waiting for the mailman to come to bring it to you, right? And that's the analogy that I heard before, which I feel like it makes a lot of sense, right? We're not obsessing over when something's going to come, how it's going to come, how it's going to show up, when it's going to get there, and all that kind of stuff. There's a need for us to put forth the action, the feelings, the emotions, and make sure that our thoughts, right, are in the right place with that manifestation. But if we're anticipating failure and worst case scenario and negativity, this is us maybe perhaps feeling that we're not worthy of whatever that might be, where it throws us off and it discourages us and we're like, oh, well, I guess this isn't happening, so I guess I'll just forget it now. I'll just stop doing it, right? So this is a need, I feel like, for trusting that Spirit does have a plan. If it is something, right, that is in alignment for us and is for our highest good and is meant for us, of course, there are certain things, that we might desire in life, and they may not be in alignment with us. They may not be things that we're meant to have or, to, in a way more so I mean with that is like, especially with when it comes to certain relationships with people, romantic in nature, where we try to be with somebody who's not really meant for us. And we're trying to control that, So this is about more so keeping, I feel like this goes into releasing the attachment to an outcome. Right? We're doing what we need to do in order to focus on manifesting what it is that we want, but we need to be open to how this shows up for us, right? Trusting that Spirit is working behind the scenes in a sense to align us with what is in vibrational alignment for us and what it is that we're meant to experience as part of our life, Okay. There's certainly a role that we play in this with the actions that we take, right, to work towards certain things. But the rest is just kind of like doing what we need to do, right, in order to get it done, and then letting it go. Letting things kind of unfold and being patient during that process. Okay. But the whole waiting here and waiting and waiting and waiting for something to show up is right, it's going to create a lot of insecurities and a lot of fears and a lot of worrying and a lot of stress and a lot of, because we have an attachment, like, why hasn't this showed up yet? Why isn't it time yet? When is this going to happen? Right? Instead of just being open to receive. And if it is, yes, something that is meant for us, something that, and I feel like this advice here, or this message here, it really depends on what the situation is too, right? Like if we have a goal in mind, like a dream career, a dream job, then certainly we play a huge role in the actions that are required from us to align ourselves with that, with being able to achieve that, right? Where we can kind of do certain things to make it happen for ourselves. But there are other things, right, that are within our life that we might try to force or control that are just not meant for us, right? So I feel like it's also important for you with that Seven of Pentacles in reverse to also reassess and reevaluate what we're giving our time and our energy to a person, to a place, to a situation. I do want to clarify this Eight of Swords, I feel like, in reverse. Three of Swords, Judgment here, and the Ten of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, I feel like this might be even about love and relationships here, like a future partner, a future spouse. If you find right now that there are certain people that are just not aligning for you, they're not seeing your worth, which is not a you problem, that's a them problem, right? They may not be capable of seeing that within you. They may have work that they need to do with inside of themselves. And sometimes those situations can be painful. The Ten of Cups is here, which is about emotional fulfillment and contentment. I'm seeing the Three of Swords present, which is talking about heartbreak and pain. We might be anticipating disappointment, like I said earlier, that things are not going to work out. But the Judgment card is about us taking time to process what we've gone through in the past, reviewing it and focusing on perhaps more positive energy, more, better times to experience in the future, changing our belief systems. So I feel like I want to pull a card for this Spirit Has a Plan. The Sun. Wow, beautiful. So the Sun is about joy. It's about happiness and positivity and something that you experience that brings in powerful energy into your life, The Sun is life force energy. So Spirit has a plan here about leading you towards, right, or guiding you towards your destiny, in which we are meant to experience, things like this, things that do make us happy, things that do make us feel fulfilled. Let's get a little bit more. Spirit has a plan. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Contentment, satisfaction. I feel like also some of you could be dealing with endings, certain things ending, friendships ending, relationships ending. And that can be hard. Like I was saying earlier, it can be hard to let go of those things. Um, and we might even be in situations romantically where we think, oh, that's my person. That's the person I'm meant to be with. And it doesn't work out that way. And we're like, okay, well, I thought that person was my person. Now what? What else does the universe have for me, And it feels like this is something better. Spirit has a plan for something that's going to make you feel so happy and so fulfilled, but maybe we don't see it yet. Maybe we have fear surrounding trusting that the things that are removed from our life, they are for good reason. And it's because the universe has something better aligned for you. And sometimes that can be frustrating, you know, because we may have invested our time and our energy into something and it didn't turn out the way that we anticipated. We didn't see the success, that we initially had mapped out, say like for a certain career, like, oh, it didn't, I pursued this career path and I'm finding that I'm not happy. I'm not as successful as I'd like to be, right? The Two of Wands also has to do with planning. It has to do with making choices. So this could even be Spirit guiding you towards making choices that are going to lead you towards joy, happiness, abundance, success, feeling content, feeling satisfied, right, with life and the things that we have in it, the things that we are a part of. And sometimes that does mean letting go of people, places, and situations that are not aligned, And it could be hard for us to let go of certain things because we might be very attached to them. And so sometimes trusting the letting go of that job or of that business or of that place that we live in for this something better, is what we need to do. And trusting that Spirit does have a plan. And the plan here is the sun and the Nine of Cups energy, which is beautiful. Okay? Beautiful. So if you're receiving, right, from Spirit, some type of divine guidance or inspiration or some type of message that you've received through a download, and Spirit's kind of shifting you into that different direction, there's a need for us trusting that Spirit does have a plan. Okay? Your intuition is trying to, your intuition is your inner compass. It helps you to navigate through your reality, learning to trust in your intuition, right? In the way that Spirit you have that interconnectedness with Source, with your spirit team, right? Your angels, your guides, your passed on loved ones, your passed on pets that are all there trying to help you, right? To be like, this way, group 2, this way. Let's see. Yeah, Temperance. This is beautiful because this is such a beautiful, balanced energy. The Temperance card is also about being patient. Patient. Things are changing. Things are, transforming. And I feel like in a positive way, in a good way. And sometimes the process of us getting there is not pretty. It might be a little uncomfortable, but it's all for the sake of leading you into this place and preparing you energetically to be open to receiving. Okay? It also helps you with being more discerning, right? With making the right choices for yourself. Queen of Swords is also, right, we're learning from the past. What mistakes did we make? How could we have done things better the next time around, right? How do we make better choices moving forward for ourselves? Can we be more discerning? Can we have better boundaries? Can we listen to what our soul's truth is of what is resonant and what is not? Right? How is the person, place, or situation affecting us right now? Is it adding value to our life? Is it leading us towards that 10 of Cups or not? Right? That's where we have decisions to make. To, again, open ourselves up to what is truly aligned for us. Okay? It helps us to be wiser. It helps us to be an even clearer channel to receive those downloads, to receive that information from the divine, from source, right? To feel that interconnectedness, that oneness that's helping to guide you on your path towards that sun energy, right? Life force. You feel alive, you feel beautiful, you feel full of joy and happiness. That's what you should be experiencing, right? In your life. Contentment, happiness, joy, emotional fulfillment, abundant, love, right? In the way that you're truly meant to. And we begin to learn the differences of what is aligned and what is not aligned for us. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you, group 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the butterfly spirit card, it says transformation is beautiful, card number 11 with the Jade. So our topic today is, where is fear holding you back? So your card is about transformation, which makes me feel that maybe there is an underlying fear here about maybe your life changing, or about you changing, you growing, you evolving. We'll see where your tarot is taking us with this. Now it says transformation is beautiful, but I know sometimes it's painful. It's painful, the process, right? But it is a beautiful thing. Sometimes that growth, yeah, is challenging, is painful, but can certainly help a lot with our personal development. Helping to change our thoughts, right? Our beliefs, our ideas. It can help to change the choices that we make, the behaviors that we have, the emotions that we feel. So where is fear holding you back, group 3? The Hermit. We've got Justice. Page of Wands. Ace of Cups. 9 of Cups. Okay. This feels like we have fear over starting over, starting new, believing that we can experience better than we have in the past. We do have Justice here, which means that those of you that have chosen this pile, there may have been a lot of injustice that you have experienced in your life. Things that weren't fair. People that may have not treated you right. And may have led to a lot of experiences that may have been very challenging for you. But the Hermit energy is about us navigating through our darkness, through all of the things that need healing. The Hermit is the journey inward. It's about the dark night of the soul. It can be about the dark night of the soul. It is about you connecting with your innermost self. There's a lot of healing, a lot of transformation that takes place, a lot of wisdom. The Hermit is very wise. And it is through us looking within the self where we connect to that wisdom from the story of our life, right? Everything that we've gone through and the choices that we've also made, right? Because it's not just other people that have done things to us. We've also made choices. We also deal with consequences of our actions and have to understand the laws of karma, cause and effect, and understand that sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes we don't make the right choices, and we might have to deal with the uncomfortable circumstances that we have to deal with. But this is also a time where we can change, we can grow, we can evolve, and to say, you know what, I can be a better version of myself. I can make better choices. I can choose differently next time, and I can experience better moving forward. Okay? And sometimes there might be fear that if we try something new, do something new, that it's just going to be the same thing all over again. That we're never going to have better. That life can't change, that it can't be different for you, which is an illusion. Right? It's the old thought pattern that we need to let go of. Yeah, that old way of thinking, that change isn't possible. Okay? Where is fear holding you back? Now, the Page of Wands is about exploring, discovering, trying something new, pursuing a passion, allowing yourself to journey, allowing yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. To know that you can, look at this beautiful energy here. I feel like this is what this is all about, because this is beautiful energy. This is stability. This is harmony. This is celebratory. This is being in the flow. This is harmony. This is feeling satisfied, feeling your wishes being fulfilled. That even if, right, we have gone through a lot of uncomfortable things in life, we can turn our life around. We can experience better things. Okay. Yeah, look at that. The Nine of Wands is here. Yeah, I feel that those of you that chose this pile, you've really gone through it. With family, with friends, with romantic partners, maybe with money, with work, anything, you know, that you've been really challenged by in your life. And the Nine of Wands, we feel tired, we feel drained, we feel tired of not doing better, being better. Why are things not improving? You know, Seven of Swords. We might have a lot of fears and insecurities because of things that we've gone through in the past. We could be avoiding, Five of Pentacles is at the bottom. We could be avoiding feeling that we lack resources. Again, this pile feels like, because of what we have experienced in the past, the things are never going to change. Things are never going to get better. The Five of Pentacles, it puts us into a place of lack mentality, right? Scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, a lack of resources. If we're dealing with financial insecurity or instability, we don't have a job, we've got limited income. You know, dealing with not having a home, not having food, not having shelter, not having anything, right? What we need, basic needs. This is being in survival mode for some of you, right? Because of what we've gone through. And so, you know, again, this is where we have to take accountability, right? We can look at our own choices that we've made. We can't always point fingers and blame things outside of ourselves. Right? The Hermit is really about us going within and really looking deeply within inside of the self, because we could, right, for some of you, be functioning from a place of survival, and that survival energy really makes us make sometimes impulsive decisions, or something that's gonna may not be the best for us, but we're kind of doing it because it's what we feel we need to do in that moment in order to survive, right? It's done from a place of fear. And sometimes it leads us, to situations that are not good for us. Okay? But I feel like this message here is a confirmation for you that by looking deeply within the self, and through facing our shadows and facing our darkness and facing, the healing that needs to happen. For some of you, it could be from past relationships. It could be from family situations or friendships or relationships that we've had that have been significant or have had a significant impact on our psyche. That healing is possible. That we can have an experience in life in a different way than we have in the past. And I feel like a lot of this is about you not losing hope. But I feel like this transformation is also something that takes place within inside of you. Okay? It takes place inside of you. I feel like this is about you reclaiming your power. I want to clarify this Justice card here. Chariot. We do have Libra, Cancer, Virgo, Aries, Gemini, King of Pentacles. Yeah, for some of you, this might be around financial security. Queen of Swords. The King of Pentacles is an incredibly resourceful energy. It's about making good decisions, as well as the Queen of Swords, making good decisions here. Clarity. It's about discernment. Investing our time and energy wisely, right? We learn what not to do, right? From looking at the past. It helps us to learn, right? Ooh, don't do that again. Or maybe we need to have better boundaries, right, with how we choose to move forward. But the Chariot is about having the willpower and determination to lead ourselves to a place of success, right? So again, like I said, I feel like this message here is about knowing that your life can change, knowing that you can, achieve happiness, contentment, satisfaction, balance and harmony in your life. I feel like the fear comes from thinking that it's always going to be the same, that things are never going to change, and that might be enough to block us from doing something different, where we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, repeating the same patterns, the same cycles, right? Because we believe that nothing's going to change. It's always going to be the same. And that Five of Pentacles is that limiting mindset, right? Because here we feel despair. We feel helpless. We feel like there's nothing I can do to change it. It's the saying to ourselves, I can't do this. I can't do that. But what if this happens? But what if that happens? And we're too afraid to take a leap of faith. We're too afraid to do things differently. We're too afraid to step outside of our comfort zone. We fear success. We fear failure. We fear finally being happy. Right? So I feel like in a way, this is about you also giving yourself permission to choose to be more positive, to be more optimistic. Now, certainly just changing that, right, within the mind is not enough, right? We've got to change the thoughts. We've got to change the choices that we make that are going to help us to shift away from behaviors that don't serve us any longer, that are going to help us to experience new emotions that are going to help us with having and achieving better outcomes, where we can completely change our life around, okay, in the best way possible. Because, like I said, down here, this is beautiful energy, okay? I want to look at the Hermit here. 5 of Wands. 6 of Swords. And the Star. Yep. So the Star energy has to do with hope, faith, trust, believing. It's about healing. It is about renewal. Okay. Clearing, purifying your energy. The 6 of Swords is also a card of healing. It's a period of transition. Maybe for some of you, like I said, you're going through a lot of challenges. This could even involve other people, you know, or internal challenges that you're struggling with. The 5s are about change, right? Which is transformation. Transformation is beautiful. Like I said earlier, it may not be pretty when we're going through it, right? Especially for those of you that are on a spiritual journey and you've gone through your awakening, you know that it is anything but glamorous, right? It's hard work. It is hard work. So whether you are consciously aware of, you know, you being on a spiritual journey or not, change is possible, you know. But I feel like it's that fear that we get trapped in that says that things aren't going to change. They're always going to stay the same, or that we're never going to get ahead. We're never going to have money. We're never going to have love. We're never going to have this. We're never going to have that. You know, for some of you, this might mean even moving away from people and situations that are creating just not good energy in your life. The Justice card is here, which is also about you making choices for your highest good. And sometimes those decisions are hard, because that might mean letting go of certain people, letting go of certain situations that are not really in alignment for us. You know, it might be letting go of people that have or carry a lower vibrational energy that are just keeping us down. Okay, people that cause drama, people that cause chaos, people that don't treat us well, people that are sneaky, are deceptive, are manipulative, are lying, or, you know, people that you feel like you give all your time and your energy to and you don't receive in return. Okay, can certainly start to wear on us mentally and emotionally and physically, right? Where we feel just completely tired, and it starts to affect our mental and emotional health, our physical well-being. You know, for some of you, this could be about you getting healthy, you know, feeling more alive, more vibrant, and knowing that you can take steps towards your healing, you know, feeling more of a sense of peace, more of a sense of calm in your life than maybe what you've experienced in the past. And that it is possible for you to, you know, experience things in your life that may be very different than what you've had to deal with in the past. Okay? But yeah, I feel like a lot of it has to come with changing, like I said, starting with the thoughts, right? We want to change the thoughts because our body becomes very programmed with the same patterns, right? We keep repeating on loop over and over and over and over again. And sometimes we need to be really self-aware, and we do that by spending that time withdrawing from the world sometimes, taking time for self and really taking time to reflect deeply with where we're at in life. Sometimes that means spending more time alone, but quality time where we are really doing a lot of inner work. you know, so that we can connect to our innermost self to help to navigate the way forward and what our next steps are and feel confident. Some of you, this is going to be a need for you to do some healing, some emotional release, okay, of things that are weighing on you, things that are maybe building up into your or have built up into your body, right? Where we can be holding on to many different emotions that we need to let go of, we need to release. A good cry, releasing anger even in a healthy way. I want to look at this Seven of Swords here. This feels like escapism, avoidance. This could be building a new foundation for yourself, especially with the Emperor being present, being more disciplined, right? That's how we can make a different choice too. The Lovers, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So the Lovers is a card of choice. The Three of Cups is about joy and happiness. The Ace of Wands in reverse, this could be potential that's lost or even feeling uninspired. So even blocked creativity here, or just I don't know. I know that I've heard of some people too who are afraid of finally being happy, afraid of people who are afraid of success. Where again we could be stuck in that very limited mindset. But I feel like it's also important. We have to understand too with the energy of joy and happiness and fulfillment. First off, that you're worthy of that, but to allow ourselves to experience that emotion now. Okay? Or we might be denying ourselves that feeling of joy and only focusing on the negativity or the way that things have been in the past. Okay? So this could be certainly reigniting things within you, maybe inspiring you, to make different choices, but to also surround yourself with people that are positive, that are uplifting, that are supportive. Maybe some of you have been a fear of connecting with other people, where you've been in the hermit energy, where you've been keeping yourself very withdrawn. That could be a fear of connecting with others, of talking to people, of building relationships, of being around people, having quality friends, having people that support you, people that are more in alignment with you, or even that feeling of, aloneness, like the feeling of I don't have anybody. But maybe a fear of making new friends, a fear of connecting with new people, or sometimes we might be isolating ourselves a little bit too much. Okay? I know that's not all of you, but some of you, it could be that, right? In a way, we feel like, okay, well, if I'm alone, then I don't have to deal with anybody's BS. And I've definitely had those those times too, where I'm just like, I'd rather just be alone because I don't have to deal with the drama. I don't have to deal with the negativity. But we need connection, right? We have to learn skills of how to communicate with people and how to also be discerning with who we also allow to bring into our life, because good people are out there and they can certainly add value to our life when we connect with the right people, right? Otherwise, we're dealing with the drama and the negativity with people that bring us down. But if we can be more selective, right? If we can be more discerning with the type of people that we allow in, and that we engage with. And that can certainly add value and quality to our life, where we feel people that are so uplifting and inspiring us, you know, that help us to, that encourage, right, your growth and your transformation, that see you, that value you, that appreciate you, that are like, that notice, right, that you're changing, that you're growing, that you're transforming. And those people are valuable, right? And you can also be that for someone else that could be kind of going through things that the past version of you has, where you have so much wisdom and knowledge to share with your own story, you know? And I would encourage you to maybe share that for some of you. Maybe it's sharing your story in some way, because that could even be something that helps with your transformation process, by being able to speak about it, being able to communicate that to others, or to teach even, you know, about what you've gone through, and sharing that story, and, you know, your transition and movement towards a better life and experiencing beautiful things, is definitely something that I feel like is possible. But you also, with the Page of Wands, we've got to be willing to see things differently, you know, and that certainly starts with the way that we think, the thoughts, you know, and understanding, or being more aware, I would say, of the ones that are not helping us, right? The negativity, the insecurities, the fears, looking into those and understanding why we have them, right? That is also part of that inner work. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this here for you, group 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.